بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Tonight with the 87th and 88th verses of Surat al-Anbiya, chapter number 21, which we just listened to in this past rak'ah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَذَا النُّونِ إِذْ ذَهَبَ مُغَاضِبًا فَظَنَّ أَن لَّن نَّقْدِرَ عَلَيْهِ فنادى في الظلمات أن لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. These ayat are a reminder for the people going through difficulty and grief and hardship. And indeed in Surat al-Anbiya we hear about Allah's specially chosen prophets and some elements of hardship and grief and difficulty that they were tested with by Allah. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested His prophets more severely than any of His other creation because it is a sign of His love. And Allah tells us of Dhannun, who is the companion of the whale, Nabiyullah Yunus alayhi salam. And Yunus, or Jonah, left, as the translation says, he left enraged and thought we did not have the power to take him to task. فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ. Then when he was in the belly of the whale, in the middle of a vast ocean, he was in this hardship, darknesses upon darknesses, in sickness and ailment, in the darkness of the belly of the whale, in the darkness of the ocean, in the darkness of the night. فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ. He called out in these darknesses, أَن لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ سُبْحَانَكَ. There is none worthy of worship except for you. How perfect are you? Indeed, I was of those who did wrong. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the next verse connects His action with our lives, the aspiring believers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَاسْتَجَبْنَا لَهُ وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْغَمِّ وَكَذَلِكَ نُنْجِي الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. So we answered his prayer and we rescued him from grief. And thus do we rescue the believers. So when each of us, when our households are tested with something of sickness, or of death, or of calamity, or hardship, or a relative goes through difficulty here or overseas, we could give in to despair, or we could turn into our religion and turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is from the remembrances, from the adhkar that is very powerful for a person to repeat often, to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and admit their fault and ask for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help and enablement to get past this difficulty. And so we should learn it inshaAllah from Surat al-Anbiya, ayah number 87 and 88. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. اللهم آمين آمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.